Hi everyone, my name is Maddie. Today I wanted to talk about some simple ways that we can prevent tantrums from happening in our kids. Just a FYI, tantrums are normal. They're just a developmental part of being a toddler. They don't know how to use their brains fully yet. They're still learning how to be little humans, and so tantrums are totally normal. But there are some things that we can do to help eliminate a lot of them, because sometimes they happen because of something that we have done and it's not necessarily the child's fault. So here are my tips on how to prevent toddler tantrums. My first tip is to wake them up slowly in the morning. So if they wake up way too early, that's a different story. You should definitely get dark blackout curtains, and then maybe a sun-moon clock that shows the moon when they are to stay in bed, and then shows the sun to the time that you are ready for them to get up. And then you can slowly work with them and teach them, let's get back to bed. The moon is still on your clock. And then when the sun's up, they're free to get up. But if you have to be somewhere and you need to wake them up in the morning, I would give them a lot of time. So I would wake them up very slowly. I've noticed that for my son, if I rush in, I'm like, hey, wake up, it's time to do our thing. He gets so grouchy and it literally lasts the whole day. So I try to wake him up slowly. I'll go sit in the room, turn on the light, turn down his sound machine, and I'll just sit on a chair and maybe I'll read a book out loud. And then usually eventually, once he gets out of that groggy first waking up stage, he'll come sit with me and read the book with me. So that is my first tip. Wake up slowly in the morning. And then a sub tip of that one is, if they're waking up too early, then to see about blackout curtains and to see about getting a sun-moon clock. So my next tip is, after you have woken them up, or after they've gotten up for the day, I would get food in them right away. I have noticed with both of my children that if they are not fed, they melt down. Just the tiniest little things set them off. It's so weird. They can be so resilient to other things when their bellies are full, but if they are just the slightest bit hungry, then it's just going to set them off, like colossal meltdowns. So I would say get food in them right away. Even if they're not hungry, offer them, if they're not ready for a big breakfast yet, just offer them something small, like maybe a granola bar or raisins or something, and give them some water. So food and drink right away, but don't force it. Just make it known that it's available for them whenever they are ready to eat it. Just make sure you have it ready so that when they feel hungry, they know they can go eat it, instead of when they feel hungry, they see nothing and then they're like, meltdown. After breakfast, I would allow them to have at least 20 minutes of free play time in the morning. So think of it like this. Think of structuring your day as a breathing rhythm, almost. Like they wake up, so they were sleeping, they were breathing in all night long. And then you sit them down to eat. They're still breathing in. That's still a sitting down focused activity. Then they need to breathe out. So they need something that is active. They need to be able to just explore, do what they want, self-directed play. So I would say for at least 20 minutes, allow them to have that time, because that is crucial. And if you think about yourself, it is nice to follow a breathing in, breathing out rhythm throughout your own day. So the same applies for your kids. So I would say at least 20 minutes of some free play. Just put out some toys for them to explore, or you could take them on a walk if you have time to do so. But I would definitely prioritize this free play time, because it just really helps them breathe out after a long night of breathing in and sleeping, and just a long night of inactivity. They really need to be active. They need some time to be active. So I would say at least 20 minutes before you have to do anything else. Let them breathe out and let them have some free play time to do whatever they would like to do. So I would say then, throughout your day, those are the core things that I try to accomplish in the morning with my two toddlers, is to make sure that they're fed, make sure that they wake up slowly, and make sure that they have that free play time so that they can get out all the activity that was suppressed during the long night and during the time that they had to eat breakfast. So then I would say after that, do whatever you got to do. If you got to take them to school, or if you're a stay-at-home mom and you have, something planned for the day, whatever's you want to do, I would say then they can have a breathing in activity, if that's driving in the car somewhere, taking them to school, whatever it is. But then I would say throughout the day, if you are with them through the whole day, if they don't go to school yet, or daycare, or have a babysitter or whatever, if they're with you, then I would say make sure that they are well fed throughout the day. Keep snacks on your person like your life depends on it, because they are growing, they're teeny tiny, and these bodies are growing to be huge, like in a rapid rate. They're growing rapidly. So they are constantly hungry. They need food to grow. So make sure that you always have a snack, and really try to make sure that they're not like processed sugars, processed carbohydrates, or dyes. Oh my goodness. Yellow 40, blue 30, whatever. They always have a color and then a number. Those things are proven to cause all kinds of like ADHD-like symptoms and get children all wound up. But that also includes processed sugars and processed carbs. So cut those out if you can. Try to find holistic, organic snacks that you can keep on your person that aren't going to like raise their blood sugar or give them ADHD-like symptoms. Make sure it's something that's going to actually nourish their bodies and not cause negativity in their brains. So make sure you have a healthy snack and keep it on you at all times. And also, you can get those like water bottles from Target that just have a straw for like $10. I would keep those on you at all times as well, because thirst. They get thirsty. Make sure you have a snack and water with you at all times, because just the slightest little bit of hunger or thirst is going to set them off, because they're just these little people. They don't know that they're hungry when they experience those feelings in their stomach. They just know that they feel discomfort, and they don't have the language yet to express to you how they are feeling. So keep food, keep drinks on hand at all times throughout your day. Whatever your activities are, make sure they're well fed. And so another tip, when you're communicating with your child, if there's something that you know has to be done and you know they're not going to like it, I would say allow them to have a bit of control here, so that they don't feel like they've just been set aside and you're just making all these demands of them. I know it sounds like we shouldn't coddle them, but they're little people too. They have feelings. They don't want to be bossed around all day. I don't want to be bossed around all day. They feel the same way. So I would say allow them to make some kind of decision here with something that has to happen. So you could say, we have to go to the car now. Would you like mommy to help you jump like a kangaroo, or do you want to run like a cheetah? Something like that. Give them a choice. Are they going to hop like a frog, or are they going to run super fast like a cheetah? That's a huge decision for them to make. So yeah, allow them to make decisions, even if they're just simple like that. Like, that they have to get to the car, but you can just come up with some little decision that they can make to help them feel like they have a say in the matter, and that they're not being bossed around all day, and that they are a valuable little human. So I would say if they ask for something and they're not allowed to have it, if they say, Mommy, I really want this lollipop, when you're at the grocery store or whatever, don't just say, no, you can't have it. I have noticed 9 out of 10 times that is going to cause a meltdown in the middle of the grocery store, which it's happened to everyone. Everyone's child has had a meltdown in the middle of the grocery store, whatever. If someone has a problem with it, they just don't know kids at all. But anyway, I would say to help avoid that from happening, you can not just say no. You could say no, but not say no. You can say something like, oh wow, that lollipop looks so yummy. Let's write it on a list. You could bring a little piece of paper or pull out your phone and write in your notes like, okay, next time we go to the grocery store, we're going to look at the lollipops. And chances are they're going to totally forget about it. But if you have a toddler like mine that remembers every little promise that you make, they might remember it next time. So maybe you can write something like, okay, my child really wants a lollipop. Okay, got it. And then there's also the thing that says you can say, 2 yeses and 1 no. So it's like yes, no, yes. So it's like, yes, wow, that lollipop looks so yummy. We're not going to get it today, but yes, maybe someday in the future we can get a lollipop when we do so and so. And chances are, they might still not be happy with that answer. But it's better than outright saying no and discrediting what they want. It makes them feel more like you care. And so another tip, some children really are bothered by having a wet diaper. So if your toddler is still using diapers, and totally fine using disposable diapers or cloth diapers or whatever you prefer, I would say stay on top of changing their diaper and making sure that they are dry and clean, because some children, again, they don't know that they're uncomfortable by the sensation of wetness down there. Like, can you imagine if your pants were wet? Like, I would not like that. I would not like for my pants to be wet for an extended period of time. So neither does your kid. So I would say try to stay on top of changing their diapers and making sure that they stay dry so that they don't have that added discomfort. So remember, they don't have the vocabulary to express to you exactly what's wrong with them. Even if they have really good speech, some children just can't make that connection. They don't understand what's causing their discomfort. They just know they're uncomfortable, and then any little thing is going to set them off. So stay on top of diapers. So those are my tips for you today. If you have your child with you all day, if you have the blessing and the privilege to be able to stay home with your children all day, my biggest tip would be to follow that in-breath, out-breath rhythm throughout your day. It doesn't have to be something planned that you write out or schedule in. If you're the kind of person that just lives life on a whim, you can follow this structure throughout the day. So I would say that really helps them by following that structure. Make sure that they're fed and follow the in-breath, out-breath. So after they've had a lot of out-breath time, allow them to do something more focused. Allow them to color, something that's, kind of like you're breathing in. And then allow them that time to purge and to let out their energy and to run around. And yeah, so I would say follow that structure. It has helped immensely with my children and their tantrums and just their overall development, because they need activity and they also need that focus time. It helps develop their brain, and also moving develops the brain too. So they really need that structure, and it works out really great. So follow the in-breath, out-breath, make sure your child is fed, and try not to outright say no. Those are my tips. Have a good one. Bye.